Today we're going to finish out the Turbo S with this Eurowise aluminum skid plate to finish off underneath my bumper here. As you can see, it looks pretty incomplete down here. I know this because my father, who you've all met, won't let me forget how incomplete it looks down here. So this Eurowise skid plate is just an aluminum piece that should bolt up under here, make it look more finished, and hopefully get my dad off my back.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty simple job. Just
this looks like
6
bolts, and let's check it out.
Yeah.
Now this is a part only for 955s, and 957s would share the same body style. And I think
We got 2 bolts back here.
I see them, and we got 2 bolts here. They're down here.
There we go. Down here, we got 2 bolts here. Line up pretty nicely.
What is this?
Huh? And then
This doesn't look right.
That piece goes. Where does that piece go?
I don't know. I checked with cousin Rob on this, and he said, yeah, it worked just fine. Here, let's let it down. You check out the website.
Let's check it out.
So what'd you find out?
It says that this is compatible with all Eurowise bull bars.
That's exactly what this is.
It's one of those, except tubular.
Aren't they all tubular?
And the bash bar.
Aren't they all tubular?
I think they all are, but is that the tubular bash bar?
I have no idea. When did we build this? Can one of you leave a comment down below? Did we say what kind of bash bar this was in the video we made?
Either way, it does seem this falls under the exception.
Doesn't fit.
It does
You know
not
what?
fit.
It's here. I got it for Black Friday. Eurowise, if you're not aware of this, does fantastic Black Friday sales.
And I'm sure they're great on returns, so we can just get it back to them.
You know, I don't want to mess with that. It's here. I need a skid guard. I'm going to either have to do it custom, or I'm going to have to make this work.
Well, they probably have a different one that goes with this one.
They don't. This is the only skid plate they provide, aside from the one I already have, for this car.
Okay.
So I'm not going to change the bumper out. But from what I saw when we were down there, if we just move these ears a little bit, I think we can either squeeze it past there and let pressure hold it up, or have it bent back and zip tie it. There's plenty of zip ties on this now.
I'm not sure Dad's going to appreciate that any more than what you've got going on right now.
I'm going to have a custom skid plate on here, one or the other. I'm just going to customize the one I have here.
Hey, man, it's your truck.
All right, let's do
that's
it.
What we want to do.
So here's what I think I want to do before we get moving too much further. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to bend these back so we can get them past this bar. Because right now, they bump up against it, but we don't need much room to get it past. And getting it out of the package, I actually bent one of them a little bit anyway, so I know it's fairly malleable. So, okay, I'm going to start this far, and let me do the other one. That should do it. Now, if you have the right bull bar.
Now, do you have the impact wrench?
I don't have the impact wrench. We're going to do it old school.
You going to do that? Okay.
All right, now that I've done my custom work, we need to remove the bolts from the frame. Now, I've already taken one out, and that is a 13 millimeter. And as you see, there's 2 here and 2 there. So we're going to go ahead and get all these out and put it up. In order to get this on, you're going to have to take all 4 of these out. And that means this cover is going to come off all together. I think I'm going to keep it on because it's a little more armor. So we're just going to have to kind of finagle the 2 pieces together, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. But you'll either need a second pair of hands like I have here with Aaron, or you'll need some, a floor jack works really well to hold things up. What's that?
Jack stand would be good.
Jack stand would work as well. All right, so, I got you. Okay, so you might say, can we just leave this piece off? I don't think so. Underneath it, we've got the bottom of our radiator. We've got some soft hoses, so this piece has to go back on along with our part here. So now, go ahead and start bolting. Okay.
That's good and tight.
All right.
Now, yeah, see, it's not hooked onto the bar. Mine's just kind of pressed to the side of the bar.
Yeah, we'll just zip tie it, I think, and that's a good solution. I mean, this is better than what I had. So I'm gonna grab some zip ties, and then I'm gonna do a quick spin by the garage here to see if it's wiggling in the wind, and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna apply my tactical zip ties. And so if you come down here, you can see where we bent the ears. They line up with the bumper exactly. So I'm just gonna do this, just to give it a little extra reinforcement. The main concern is if I'm driving high speed, which is not something I do on the regular, by the way, officer, that I don't have wind pull this down and bend this fairly soft aluminum. But I don't think with these zip ties it'll do that. And I did 2 on each side.
It's a little known fact that zip ties can withstand nearly 200-mile-an-hour winds. In fact, I'm pretty sure that the SpaceX rockets are like 90% zip ties.
All right, we are all zip tied. You guys tell me, does it flap? Let's see. Does it bounce anything more than anything else on this car?
I mean, no, not really, but I don't think you're going as fast through here as you would on the highway. So, you know, the real tale will be on the highway if you can hear a vibration, some kind of hum going on.
If I can hear a vibration, I'll tell you what. Let's get the cameraman in here to hear all the vibrations in this thing, and you tell me what you can figure out. Hop in and go for a ride, Aaron.
I've been tasked with inspecting the squeakiness of Justin's vehicle. I heard a creak, another creak. I heard another creak. Oh, very creaky and squeaky. That's a lot of squeaking. I think this thing actually might be 50% cheese curd with all the squeaking we've got. Clearly, exactly the way Porsche designed it. Nothing to do with the modifications performed by Husman Bros. This is not going very fast. I'd be interested to see if there is any additional noise when it gets on the highway, but it's his truck, so I guess he can do whatever he wants to with it. Well, if it's any squeakier than it was before, I'm not sure how you're going to be able to tell.
That's exactly right. That's why I put a stereo in it first thing.
Yeah.
So we
Looks
made
good.
the website true.
Yeah.
You can fit it to any Eurowise bumper, period. Little
Proof.
modification and that's it. But it seems to be pretty solid. I'm not concerned about it going anywhere. Ultimately, it really is there 90% for show. And if I ever end up off-road and a stick pokes up at me, I've got a little more protection than I did yesterday.
If somehow it comes loose, then you'll see a lot of sparks flying, that's for sure.
And that's cool too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.